Hey everyone, I am here with day 4, and as you can see, day 5 is already started on the back of day 4. Now that is because that yummy down there was pre-written on this page, and you could tell it was written in like a glitter font, but you couldn't really see the glitter. So what I did was used some gold stickles and stickled over it. Now, when I went to do that, what had happened was the stickles took too long to dry, so I just started day 5 while I was waiting on day 4 to finish drying. Now I'm using this plaid paper again from the Tim Holtz Christmas pad, and I just used a Creative Memory circle punch to cut that out, and I placed my number 4 on top of that, and that's just covering up some of that dead space up there on the photo. Now this little burlap thing, I've already used a piece of it in my album already, and I do have more of them, so that's something I'll continue through the whole album. Now what I'm doing is finding something to pop up my photo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mat the photo on this paper right here, and then I'm going to have to find something because there is a gap. I don't want the photo to be raised up on the right hand side and lower on the left hand side, and it'll be that way because of that burlap ribbon thing right there. And I'm just trying to like figure out what I'm going to use and what thickness. And I end up using some Freckled Fawn chipboard words. Now what I do is pull off the chipboard, and then I've got this word left, and it's pretty much the exact same height of the burlap ribbon. So I just pulled off someone's, I've had this chipboard sheet for at least a year, and I haven't used them, and there's someone there I just probably wouldn't use on my scrapbook pages, so I'm pulling those off, and I'm going to put adhesive on them on both sides, and this, then I'm just going to adhere it onto the page. And that way it'll kind of give, like, it's the same height, so that way nothing's going to be all wonky. And that is a picture of a huge pile of chocolate chip cookies. In case you were wondering, I was going to do both photos on this page, but I baked so much more than just chocolate chip cookies. I decided to just include the picture of the baking like necessities, the things that I was using and ingredients and stuff like that. So I'm just going to pop that guy down on there. All right, and then the 4 is down there nicely. And this background sheet that I'm using is actually, it's like a Christmas recipe tab binder. It's like they're like recipe dividers. I don't know why I couldn't get that out of my mouth, but that's basically what they are. And I just covered up the tab on this side and left it on the other side because there's no words on the other side. And I'm cool with that. So I get a little sticker and I put that up there, and I'm thinking about where I want to put this little green banner. And I decide to put the little banner down here underneath the photo just to bring the green down a little bit more. Like I have that sticker by Yummy that says cheer, but that is a big green tab up there. So I figured I needed a little bit more. And I was just going to have, today was baking day, so I only needed a tiny little tab here. And I end up messing up those couple words, so I have to cover that up later. And I'm just, trying stuff out, figuring what I want to use. Some things I decide to use, some things I don't decide to use. I'm like, no, 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 no. I love those little hollies, but it does not look right on that page whatsoever. So I pull out the snowflake rub-ons, and I'm just rubbing them on, randomly on the page, randomly in a specific order on the page, I should say. And the rub-ons give me a little bit of a fit. Like, it's the kind of paper, because this is a little bit of a slick surface, so I have to rub really hard, almost denting the paper just to get them on. And you can't see them really well on camera, but in real life, when I'm looking at the pages, I'm super happy with it. And I decided to put one of these snowflakes right over top of that tab and right over top of the word sticker. And that's just because I wanted it to feel integrated. I didn't want it to look like I was just covering something up on that tab, even though that is actually what I was doing. And I almost decide to stop with the snowflakes, but I'm like, I only have a couple left. I should just finish it. And everything I'm trying out, trying to cover up that tiny little awkward gap up here, isn't really like working for me. I do like this little plaid thing that I put up here, and this would have stayed, like this would have stayed just like that with the snowflakes if I wouldn't have messed up that tiny, tiny little bit of writing I had to do. So I cut the snowflake in half because I'm going to put one half up at the top going off the page and one half down at the bottom. And I learned my lesson from the last time I used these snowflakes and only wanted to apply half of the rub-on, that I actually need to physically cut it in half. All right, and those get on there, and I like this. I'm like super happy with it. And here is where I mess up. I can't even write baking. And at first I'm like, oh, nope. I'm like, nope, 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 it's not going to work. So I find in LA Studio green tab, or not a tab, label. And I just cut off the edges because I'm going to tuck it under there and just cover that up. And then I decide what I'm going to actually do is remove that little label that I screwed up on and just put this new guy in there. And there it comes out, and it goes right into my trash bin, and I've got some of that adhesive on my finger, so I'm just trying to get some of that off. And then I pull out some washi because I'm going to layer that underneath of there. And the washi is starting to lose its sticky. Like it's a full roll of washi and it's already starting to lose its sticky, and that just is so disappointing. So I do have to add some ATG to the back of it, and then I finally get that label sticker tucked in there, and I finally get my today was baking day, or today was for baking, or whatever I wrote, something about baking today on that little tab, and that is going to finish day 4. See you guys soon.